Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today, as you can see by the title, we are here for PSGL, round number 6 of the championship then, here in Silverstone. If you missed last race, out in Zandvoort, we ended up finishing 4th in that race. It could have been 3rd, but we didn't report Caraton for that pit lane incident, and no one else did, so yeah, it is what it is. We finished P4. And the championship going into this race, as you can see, we're in P5. Barry Burmand leading the championship. I can confirm he's not racing today as well. So that gives Prey Schneider and everyone else a good chance to catch up. But yeah, as you can see then, in short qualifying, because Steam went down when we were doing the full qualifying, so yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, so it's going to be a short qualifying, and it's going to be Inters for the whole session, because that's where we're supposed to be in the full quali. And then the race, it's going to be raining, but then it's going to dry up fairly quickly. After 20 minutes, it's going to start being dry, so yeah, we're going to go for a dry setup. Most people will do the same, because it's going to be dry for most of the race, so it makes sense. Maybe if half the race or 3/4 of the race was Inters conditions as well as qualifying, then it would definitely be worth putting on an Inter setup. But for now, for this kind of race, where most of it's dry, definitely dry setup's the way to go. So yeah, coming to our first running quali then. It's a fairly poor lap, still getting used to the conditions, and there's only enough for P5 right now. But luckily, you can do 2 runs, one after another, in these conditions. So we're just going to go again. Definitely a lot to improve on our lap, and as you can see, we found a lot of time. In fact, just under 3/10 or over 3/10 as we come to the line, and it's provisional pole with a 33.3. But as you'll see, the track does start to dry up, or maybe not dry up, but just track evolution. And yeah, by the time we get back to the pits, Fab is already ahead. So yeah, P2 for now. But the runs aren't really going to matter until the end of the session, because that's when everyone's going to be improving by quite a lot. So yeah, skipping on to our second lap then, or third lap, but second set of tyres. We found more time, about 1/10 and a half, or a little bit less, but as you can see, if we come across the line, we actually stay P3, so yeah, not an insane lap. Still Simon and Fabrizio ahead of us. But yeah, we tried to go again, but we mess up turn 3, and Tom's a bit too close ahead, and yeah.
No, man, he's too close.
But anyway, now we have 2 more runs, or 1 run, depending on when we get back to the pits.
I am giving a tier 1 sub to Jacob. Thank you, man.
So yeah, now it's all or nothing. So as you can see, we're down in P8 with only 1 run left to go, so it is vital we make this lap count. So, starting the lap then, coming into turn 1, you want to take as much of the curb as we can, which we completely miss. That's going to cost us a little bit of time. Coming into turn 3, braking on the curb, down to 3rd gear, very careful on the traction. The car can really slide around, especially in the wet conditions. Down to 3rd gear, clipping our apex, and now careful on the throttle. Short shift into 5th to help with the traction, and even up to 6th. And as you can see, because of that track evolution, we are just gaining more time. Down into Brooklands, just before the 50-meter board. You want to take a little bit more curb than I did there, but we're still gaining time. And into Luffield. Short shifting into 5th gear just to help with the traction. We avoid that outside curb because it throws us off a little bit, but you can't. I've seen drivers take it, so yeah. And now coming down into Cops, not quite flat. We mess it up a little bit. As you can see in the Delta, we're losing time, and that could potentially cost us. But anyway, now coming into Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel, down into 5th for the left-hander, and then hold it. And short shift up to 6th on the exit. Again, traction down. And coming out of the straight, we are 10th up on our PB with a purple sector 2. So it's looking like a decent lap. It was a shame about that mistake at Cops. But anyway, coming into the 3rd sector now. Braking on the curb. Down to 5th gear. Careful on the traction once again. Don't run out wide and invalidate your lap. Now, coming into the final chicane. We take that very nicely. 4th gear. Short shift to 5th once again to help with the traction. And now, up to the line, we slide in a little bit, but we come across the line and it's going to be P2.
Oh my god.
The 32.9.
That's actually crazy.
And yeah, as you can see, Alessio Di Capua takes pole position by just over 1/10 and a half. But I think the reason for that was his setup We noticed in the race, it was very blatantly obvious that he had no straight line speed. It was his car was very slow in a straight line, which indicates that he's running higher wings, which helps in the Inter's conditions, of course. So, yeah, we come to a conclusion that he was probably running more of a wet setup, which could explain the difference in lap time and quali. So, yeah, we shouldn't be too disheartened by the fact we're 10th off Alessio. Yeah, hopefully in the race we'll have more of an advantage. So, jumping straight into it then. For round 6 of the PSGL season, here in wet Silverstone, of course. It's lights out, and we actually don't get a terrible start. Unlike the last 84 billion races I've done, we have managed to hold a position off the start. So that's always a win. But now, yeah, Inter's conditions, no real opportunities really. Everyone's a similar pace in the wet. Or as I said, Alessio running that slightly wetter setup. His pace is going to be insane, and we need to make sure that we keep up. In the straights we'll be fine, but through the corners, obviously he's gonna be a rocket. So yeah, ideally we want to stick within a second, so that when we switch on to dries, I'm still within his DRS. Otherwise, it could be game over. But yeah, now we're just gonna sit behind Alessio, try and stick with him. We don't really need to worry about tyres, because we do check with Jeff at some point, and he says the rain's going to stop in 5-10 minutes. So yeah, we don't have to worry about extending the tyres out, because we're going to have to pit for dries soon anyway. So now it's just about sitting in the train, saving as much ERS as we can. We gain quite a lot back here, so we can afford to use some if we need to. And yeah, just wait for our opportunity later in the race. So as you can see then, skipping on to lap 7, the track is massively dried out. As you can see, our tyres are starting to overheat. Going through Maggotts, Beckers and Chapel.
Look at this.
That was disgusting to watch. I'm so sorry you had to witness that. Our tyres are absolutely fried. We're sliding everywhere. Alessio's almost a second of the road, which isn't ideal. And Simon closed up to us as well.
We're taking that risk. We're coming in.
But yeah, we come in because we can't stay sliding around like that any longer. So yeah, getting it nicely slowed down. It's very easy to speed into the pit lane of Britain, so just take it easy. But unfortunately, as you can see, if you can just see the mini-map above my face cam, the whole grid decided to come in on the right lap. No, he's not, because he's in the Haas. I thought Alessio was in the Haas as well. He's in the Williams, so he's not going to get held. We've been held by the Renault, and as you can see, Simon Weigang.
Rip. That's Alessio.
And we've been jumped, and we've been slowed down. So,
It's fine.
yeah, unfortunate this is still happening in this game. But yeah, as you can see, Alessio up the road. We almost spin into the barrier. So does Simon, as these tyres are stone cold. But still have not optimal grip, considering it's still pretty damp. So yeah, unfortunate. Alessio's now up the road. But remember what we said.
That's what you get for.
Am I gonna say anything?
That's what you get for being in McLaren instead of Haas or Williams.
Yeah, we're pretty fuming right now. But yeah.
Nice to know I'm at a disadvantage because I'm in a different car. Nice one, game.
Yeah, we're still complaining. But yeah.
Oh my God.
Alessio, remember, is on that wet setup or inter setup, so he's going to be pretty slow in a straight line. In the race, we're still complaining. But yeah, we just need to get our way past Simon, and then hopefully we can catch up to Alessio. So skipping all the way on to lap 19 then. We can manage to get past Simon, and now we're going to go for the move on Alessio. We have no ERS left. We had to use quite a lot to catch up to Alessio. But crucially, he has very little straight line speed. So when he launches an attack, we should be able to cover him off. Purely because of the straight line speed advantage we have. Just using some ERS should be enough to stay ahead. Something very important to note is Danny Moreno, chilling in P3. At this point, I believe he had something like 50% ERS maybe. Maybe even a bit more. So he was definitely in a best position, ERS-wise. And also our fuel levels are a bit too low. We really do need to manage.
Surely he's just going to be too slow.
So I need to start dropping the fuel from rich to lean a bit sooner on the straights, assuming that Alessio is not going to overtake, which he probably won't. But you can you can never be too safe. You could try saving fuel going into lean, and then next thing you know, he could be diving it down the inside. So
No one knows what to do.
yeah, we definitely have to do some management. But we're in the lead, which obviously, as I've said in like 10 other videos, is not the best place to be saving everything. You'd rather be in P2 saving. But yeah, we're still in a decent position because of Alessio's straight line speed. Who we really have to watch out for is Danny Moreno, who at some point is going to drain his battery and mount an attack on Alessio and eventually me. So yeah, skipping on to lap 23 out of 26, and this is where things get interesting. So Danny Moreno needs to launch an attack at some point, and as you can see, as we look back, he's already side by side with Alessio Di Capua. We're a bit hesitant to use ERS, but we finally use it. But as you can see, going into Stowe, Alessio dives up the inside, Moreno round the outside. We're going 3 wide. This is not ideal. Danny goes off track, and we're going to brake early. Let them two brake late. They bang wheels. We go for the switchback. And we're going to go 3 wide into the final corner. We get past Alessio, but we have to slow down not to hit Danny. And, well, well, that was an interesting one. I should have defended the inside more, and I should have used more ERS earlier. So that was a mistake on my part. But yeah, now Danny Moreno's into the lead, with probably more ERS than me and Alessio, so this is not ideal. And as you can see, Alessio still wants to get past, so we have to use ERS to maintain our position, which is not going to help us against Danny Moreno. But yeah, that move, I didn't expect them to close up so fast, but I still made a mistake by not covering the inside or not covering the outside. I let them both go, like, get me in a sandwich, and then I didn't use ERS early enough. I didn't anticipate how fast they would close in on me. But yeah, it is what it is. It happens. And now we'll have DRS on Danny Moreno. But as you can see, someone else who's been saving ERS is Fabrizio Donoso. And he's going to go for a move on Alessio. And Alessio dives it up my inside. Fab goes off wide. I'm not sure what happens there. We get a penalty. That'll get removed, because we had to open up the steering to avoid Alessio. But yeah, I think Fab went for a move on Alessio, and Alessio covered it off, hit off Fab wide, and yeah, Alessio just dived up my inside. But yeah, now Moreno has a 6/10 advantage, and we have barely any ERS or fuel. So yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, we are going to come home in P2. Danny Moreno wins the race. GG to him. Alessio Di Capua takes P3.
Oh my god.
Yeah. In very, very fun race. Bit annoying because we could have won that. But yeah, it is what it is. That's racing. I hope you all enjoyed. Yeah, as I said there, we had 500 viewers on the stream at one point, which is crazy. That is absolutely insane. Thank you everyone if you're from my streams. And yeah, if you want to watch me do these league races live, or just generally driving, I stream every day, or nearly every day, on Twitch. I'll leave that in the description. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm gonna get up.